Hey guys, so in this episode we'll go over something from the comic Star Wars Tales issue number 24, which was originally made by Dark Horse but then adopted into the Star Wars Rise of the Sith Volume 1 Marvel comic book collection. This goes over how Darth Maul got his Sith tattoos and his first big test from Palpatine. This test would essentially be a marker for Sidious to either allow Maul to continue his apprenticeship or to, well, be killed by his opponent. I'll first explain that in this issue, we see Sidious give Maul his famous Sith markings through ways of needleheads, so each dot would permanently tattoo his skin black, ending up in hours and days of tattoo work which were unbearably painful for him. This was Sidious's way of teaching Maul how to handle pain, by focusing on everything but the physical, as the Sith were masters of the mind more so than just the body. On the first page, we see Sidious tell Maul the very same mantra that Yoda told the Jedi throughout the films, to ward them away from falling to the dark side.
Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
Whereas Palpatine used this to solidify Maul's hatred and feed into his anger. Through the agony of the Sith tattoos that he was implanting on Maul, this would calm his mind, which would train him to keep his composure in battles to come. Palpatine was twisted, but he knew how to train his servants, that's for sure. Upon Maul destroying the battle droids, he bowed as Sidious asked him if he wished to serve him, pledging his loyalty to the Emperor. Sidious sent him to a planet in the Outer Rim to kill a very loud presence of the dark side that he feared would notify the Jedi and ruin his plan of surprise to unveil Maul upon Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn. Sending Maul to this planet, once arrived, he saw it was a place filled with scum. Strong in the dark side, however, merely just aliens betting on cage matches. Approaching the strongest in the dark side of the Force, the one that Palpatine sensed, Maul went up to the victorious Silas, a gargantuan burly-shaped beast who asked who Maul was and what he wanted. Showing a hologram of Sidious, Silas watched as the Emperor enticed him with a new life, a life of significance, a life of power as his apprentice. His test would be to kill Darth Maul and take his place. Unbelievably surprised by this act of betrayal by his master, Maul's mind lost focus on the attacker and began to obsess over his master leaving him. Being badly beaten by the creature who swore to take his place, Maul reached out to his master in his thoughts, telling him not to leave him, telling him that he is afraid. At the word afraid, he remembers what his master taught him about fear. Fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, and hate leads to suffering. At the realization of where his power is rooted from, Maul remembered who he was and that his fear, hatred, and suffering in life was what drove him to constantly become more powerful. Immediately striking back at Silas and overpowering the energy systems that prevented him from using his lightsaber, he ignited it and sliced down the beast. Upon his return to his master, Palpatine revealed to Maul that this was his test for greater missions ahead, that if he passed, then he would be able to continue his training and ultimately be unleashed to the Jedi like an attack dog. Now understanding why he put Maul through this test, he grabbed him by the chin like he did when he was merely a boy, telling him to not fear fear itself, rather to use it to make him strong, obedient, and powerful. I, for one, am really glad Maul killed Silas. I couldn't imagine him becoming Palpatine's apprentice and end up in Episode 1 against Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. What do you guys think about that? What if Silas did become Palpatine's new apprentice and actually killed Maul due to his loss of identity after the supposed betrayal? We're just a couple days away from the lightsaber contest reveal, which will be posted on the Facebook page as usual, where I just posted a picture sent in by the previous winner as well. And I know many of you have messaged me to my inbox on the page. I'm going through every single one of you. It's just gonna take a little time. Thanks so much for writing to me and for your patience. I really appreciate it, and I love reading all your comments and messages, no matter how long it takes me. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you all in tomorrow's episode of Star Wars Theory. Until then, my fellow Jedi and Sith friends, remember,
the Force will be with you, always.
Now, fulfill your destiny.